Hey, everybody.
Hey.
We just filmed our third episode of the So Far So Good podcast. Finally.
Number three.
Number
Trace.
three.
Yep.
We talked a lot about some good things in this, so make sure to watch it.
Everybody has a skill. Everybody can make money from that skill.
Yeah.
That's a little teaser for you.
Alrighty.
See you there.
Bye. Okay.
We're back.
Hey, everybody. We are back. This is episode Trace.
Yep. I feel like we're getting better at this. We're doing really well.
Oh my gosh. We are finally in the groove of things, you guys. Episode 3. Oh my.
It's been a trial. Like getting everything set up with episode 1, watching it, cringing a little bit.
Yeah.
Making adjustments for episode 2. I think we feel a lot better about episode 2 compared to episode 1.
If you guys watched episode 2, we talk all about this guest camera that we would be using. And if you watch it, well, it died on us. So
So
we're hoping, fingers crossed, that it's going to work, but we can wave to it.
We're still working on getting all the technical elements. It's complex. We're literally capturing 4 cameras right now. Sky Cam's up there.
Hey.
Jenna's got her camera. I've got my camera, and we've got the guest camera. So we're trying to work this all out before we start bringing in guests.
Yeah.
Because the last thing we want to do is have somebody come spend their valuable time with us, and then
nothing happens.
Yeah. So we're doing episode 3 now.
Yeah, and we're finally ready. We're moving on with actual content for you guys instead of, all the technical stuff.
Talking about the challenges of podcasting again.
That is interesting to listen to if you're interested in that. But I think that this episode you guys are going to really be interested in. But first, we sort of want to tell you guys about our professional lives and what we do for work. So,
because I think it really is going to tie into this episode and one of these, because what Jenna and I do for an actual living to make money ties right into the topic of this episode.
Mm-hmm. So to start, I'm in marketing and digital marketing, and I have my own business. So it's funny, I actually do business with Sean. Mm-hmm. So my company does contract work with his agency, and we do all things from graphic design, email marketing, web updates, web builds, analytics, social media, I feel like brand, content strategy, everything that you can think of in a brand.
Print,
and we do events and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I mainly work for my billable hours. I work with clients, and I also have some direct clients that I work with as well, and I do the same thing with social media calendars or email marketing, web updates, and website builds, which I love to do. And then on the side, which will tie into what we're going to be talking about, is I have some personal brands that I have. So one of my biggest ones is Jenna Heath Lifestyle, and that's sort of a personal brand that I've built a website on, and I do blog posts, social media, and I try to monetize that, and we'll get into that later. But Sean, do you want to sort of talk about what you do?
Yeah, so I do a lot of what Jenna does as well, kind of with the added responsibility of, as Jenna said, I run a digital marketing agency. So I have quite a few freelance contractors that work with me that, I work with clients, I figure out what it is they need, and then I work with my team to be able to figure out who's able to do the graphic design work, or who's able to build this website out, or we need a new email marketing campaign, who's going to build that out. And so my job, I actually do a lot of the things that Jenna does as well, but I would say significantly more on an overflow basis. If we don't have enough people to be able to design a logo or to be able to build a website, I jump in and do that as well. But my role is significantly more focused on kind of understanding what it is the clients need, and then helping find the right resources to be able to get them that said deliverable or a marketing campaign or whatever. So a lot of what I do is managing the team, managing the clients on a day-to-day basis. But again, it all kind of goes back. I've got my own channels as well. So I've got a personal blog that I've run for really since 2009, focused on social media tips and marketing and those kinds of things. I have 2 additional blogs that I'm building as revenue streams. You know, so I spend a lot of time kind of in the world of content. And that's why we, as Jen and I were talking about, what would be a great topic for episode 3, we started talking about the content economy. And it seemed like that was a great way. We're building a podcast, and a podcast is built on content. So what a great way to be able to start talking to people about what we do and why the content economy has become such an important part of opportunities for people.
So as Sean mentioned, this whole podcast episode is going to be about the content economy. So what does that even mean? So for me, the content economy is pretty much, what do you say, in layman's terms?
Layman's terms.
It's literally a person makes content, and then whether that's posting blog articles, posting a video on TikTok, and then you post it, and then people watch it, and then you get money from it.
And that's
it.
I mean, it is. There's a temptation to oversimplify, but really that's it. And I think everybody can understand the concept of, I've watched some YouTube videos. There's been some ads in the middle, and then I've either clicked, skip the ads, or I watch the ads, and then at the end of it, the person who created that YouTube video, may get paid a portion of that ad revenue. So they've monetized their content, and what I love. So you hit. I mean, I think you hit it perfectly. It's basically create content, publish content, make money from content.
Yeah,
that's
it's that simple. Economy. It's that easy, and people I feel like my age, the Gen Z, maybe millennials know how to work it, especially because of the blow up of TikTok. But I feel like not everyone in the world knows how easy this is to make money. You guys, just side money.
So people are like, well, I don't know how to do graphic design.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay.
You don't need to know that.
Right. As you think through the types of content that are out there, like for I'm a Gen Xer. So for Gen Xers, for us, like written content was big because we grew up with the world of Google, where everything was a web page or a blog post or a Wikipedia entry. So I think that Gen Xers think a lot about written content and reading that. So can you write?
Yes.
Do you have experience that you can share in a written methodology? Can you edit? I mean, I have a team member who, she's awesome, and what she does is she edits.
Just edits.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a great role to have, and she's really good at it. But her job is to make sure that what other people wrote is correctly worded, is cited properly, all those kinds of things. Doesn't have any sort of plagiarism, copyright, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So she's an editor, right? In the world of visual, can you draw? Can you illustrate? Can you create videos? Can you capture things that are going around in your life? I mean, there are entire YouTube channels, entire Instagram accounts dedicated to what someone's cat is doing. Yeah. And by the way, they're awesome, some of them. Some of them are terrible. But some of them, Great Grams of Gary is an adventure cat who travels with his owner, all over the place. It's really cool. And the ability to capture that video or capture those photos, that's a talent. Yeah. But they're creating content. They're publishing content. Yeah. And they're getting paid for it.
Yeah. Right? I think Sean and I always talk about everything is content.
Right, it is.
Everything you do in your life, you can turn into content, and everyone hopes that content can now be monetized and you make money off of it. So people are like, oh, I need to go viral on TikTok and then get a lot of followers, and then I can start earning money. Well, there are other ways to make money if you're not a very popular TikToker or Instagrammer, because other revenue streams would be, I don't know, free product, free reviews, and then that in turn can be on your resume to give to bigger brands, and then potentially earn money from like posting a Instagram story for like $25 or something like that. So
it is, I think a lot of it depends on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, there's, I'll just tell you, like social media takes a lot of energy. It really does.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of, I mean,
No,
I'm,
you guys,
I'm preaching to the choir, you know.
literally, it's so much.
It's a lot of energy and it's a lot of passion for it. You
Yeah.
really, you have to know what content works there. You have to know who your audience is.
Yeah.
You have to know how to engage with them. Social media is tough. And a lot of folks are like, ugh, I don't want to put myself
and
out
that's why
there
people
like
are
that.
like, how can I make money if I'm not on social media?
And the answer is like, you can absolutely make
There's
money.
so
if you're
many
not on
other
social media.
things,
Mm-hmm.
like those platforms of like, you know, you put up, I don't know if we name drop or anything, but
Like you can
you know,
talk about
those-
Upwork or,
Yeah, or like
Fiverr
Fiverr.
or places like that.
and
Yeah.
that would be an example of a skill that you have and you want to make extra cash. You put up your profile and you just get little small gigs on the side, and that's extra cash, along with like we hope that you would eventually want to have like a gig job as your primary job, but mostly people have like their primary job that feeds their income and then extra cash on the side, so like making YouTube videos or doing like fun things that you want to do, like
Or
fun things.
editing other people's YouTube videos. Man, there's
Yeah.
a huge call for that. Like, I think you would find, and you know this, like, and we know this, like we create YouTube videos for when we travel. Both Jenna and I do that.
Yeah.
And when you come back, you're so excited when you're traveling and you're capturing all this content. It's amazing. And then you get back and you're like, oh, I got to edit that video.
Like so much content. Like it's possible to have too much content.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time. And so if you can find someone who's willing to put together that awesome video,
Yeah.
use their skills to be able to do it, it's amazing. And that person doesn't have to be on social. They don't have to be publishing their own video content. They don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're monetizing their skill to help somebody else publish in the content economy, which is it's important. It's interesting because we talk about the gig economy all the time, right?
Yeah.
And when people think of the gig economy, they think of things like Amazon deliveries. They think of DoorDash,
Yeah.
Uber, Lyft. You
Yeah.
can go through and you can name, I don't know, 10 different ways to take part in the gig economy, right? Well, the content economy is just a subset of the gig economy, and it's finding ways to, instead of, you know, take food from one place to another, or take a human being from their conference to the airport. What you're doing is finding ways to create content around the things that are happening in your life to be able to then publish them. And either, I mean, I'll tell you, I would tell someone, entertainment and education. Those are the two best ways to create content in the content economy. You're either
Yes.
going to entertain someone,
Yep.
dance videos on TikTok, right?
Yep.
And if anybody's seen episode 1, TikTok, girl,
Yeah. You're throwing it back.
or you can educate someone. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times, I'm a car guy. I love to work on my vehicle, and there are things that I have no clue how to do on a vehicle.
Yeah.
Where do I go? YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else has done it.
Yeah.
Somebody else has walked through that process and shown like almost every step, and I can then just walk through it
Yeah.
on YouTube, which is absolutely amazing. So entertainment and
Inform education. Yeah. It's so
Excellent.
crazy. I was talking, I don't know who I was talking to, but they were like searching for something on Google. And I was like, do you realize that every time you search for something on Google and then you scroll down and you click a blog post and you read their blog post and stay on their blog post for however long you want, that person that wrote that blog post is getting money from you.
They're getting made.
Like,
right?
and I think it like blew their mind. They were like, wait, what do you mean?
They're
And I'm
getting
like,
paid?
yeah, every single article on Google, if you click it and there's ads on it,
Yeah.
the amount of time you're on it, I mean, people
Look.
are getting paid because you're reading it.
I mean, I'm going to be super candid about this. Like I said that I started my first social media blog back in 2009 and I published it and it was 2000, if I remember right, 2019 before somebody finally talked me into putting ads on my blog. Like I blogged for 10 years and I was like, I don't want to put ads on my blog. That's like selling out, whatever, right? And then I had someone tell me, just to be candid, you're being stupid. You have a lot of good traffic and you have a lot of people who come back to your blog. Why would you not make money from that? And I did the old, I don't want to, I sound like an old guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to put ads on my blog. And then they showed me how much money I could make from it.
And you're like, sign me up. Thank you.
Like,
and you guys, it's money that, yes, you worked for, but now you don't have to work.
Yeah. So, and I would tell you, it's kind of addictive. Like when you start making money from your content, what you start to do is realize how valuable your time is. I mean, I put a lot of time and energy into, and I had at that point probably 250, 300 blog posts that I just written about things because why? I was frustrated because I couldn't clear the Facebook Messenger icon. It wouldn't go away on my phone. It was driving me insane. And then I figured out a solution for it. I was like, other people
probably have this problem.
Too. Yeah. And it turns out lots of people have that problem. So, and then you're like, what's the next problem I can solve? And what's the next problem I can solve? And then when you run into a problem like that, you're like, I could write a blog post about it. And I, we talk about the generational gap between you and I is kind of 2 generations away. You're Gen Z, I'm Gen X. And I tend to focus my content creation activities and my monetization activities on writing. I'm starting in the YouTube world. It's, YouTube takes a lot more energy and effort.
Yes.
But I'm starting there. You, on the other hand, tend to more default to the Instagrams, the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And I think for your generation, you guys kind of grew up in that world of visual communication as opposed to, written communication.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. And I will say, now that I've worked with Sean and I've worked in the content economy, I realized that there's some really popular Instagram influencers that don't have websites or don't have blogs. And do you know how many followers they have? That would be like, if she posted something and it says like, hey, get to know my 5 tips about, eating healthier. They would click her blog post or her link and go to it and read it. And so that's extra money that she could be getting, and she doesn't take advantage of it. Right. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a
let's not even talk about email marketing, how a lot of that is missed as well. I think most what I would consider to be big influencers miss out on this chance to actually build an email marketing list. It is again, it's kind of generational. I don't know that, my generation, we kind of live in email.
Well,
we do.
Yeah.
I think that your generation didn't live in email until you into the work world. Is that fair?
Yes. Yeah. We had to learn how to write an email. Like, I think so. I took this class in college at the University of Kansas. Go Rock Chalk. I was like, he also went to KU too. But I took this class freshman year about it's like a leadership pre-whatever class, and it was one of the courses was how to write an email, a professional email. And so I learned that skill, but like no one really knew how to use email. We would use Blackboard to like communicate with our professors and stuff, but then outside of work, like how are you supposed to email job or employers or potential clients? And so email has become a big part of I feel like the Gen Z work life, not necessarily personal at all.
Right.
Personal, we do text, like a lot, text, Snapchat, Instagram, DMs, stuff like that. But email marketing is it's a really good channel to use.
Let's talk about texting campaigns too. If you can get someone to give you their phone number from a marketing perspective, from a communication perspective, how gold is that, right?
Yeah.
If you feel like you're getting a personal text message
Yeah.
from Kylie Jenner, right?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, right?
That would be very cool.
But those are streams. I think those are content elements that and Kylie probably has.
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm sure
Kylie
she does.
has lots of things going on.
I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but I think that there are, to your point, a lot of influencers out there that don't realize that there are some channels that they could be taking advantage of.
Yeah, and just increasing their space in the content economy, I guess.
And then to flip that around, there are some brands out there that I think try to take advantage of everything. They have to have every communication channel. And I don't know if you had like one of those all-in-one printers when you were in college that really did everything but nothing good.
Oh,
You know, sometimes that's what a content campaign can be like too, where they're like communicating, they're like blasting
Little bits of everything.
same message to every single channel, and like it doesn't work very well, right?
That's another thing that we could probably get into on another episode, but using specific channels that targets different audience.
Absolutely.
So
or
yeah,
or different content messages.
that's exactly. Yeah. So things that I would watch on my like For You page on TikTok would be way different than Sean's, but that's something totally different that we could definitely touch on later about, well, what would that topic sort of be? How to
multi-channel marketing,
targeting the right audience for the right channel or
sounds
something.
so Gen X-y as multi-channel marketing.
I don't even
it really is. It's like creating a content ecosystem, right?
Okay,
it's who are you going to talk to, how are you going to talk to them, and what are your expectations for a response?
Yeah,
because that's that's a really important part of success in the content economy, and that is knowing who you're talking to and knowing how to talk to them in a way that it's useful for that person. And the reason that my social media blog grew is because I was literally solving problems. That's all I was. I wasn't like, there was some pontification about, should social media companies be public or private, those kinds of things. But those blog posts, honestly, didn't do very well. The ones that were like
targeting a specific problem that people are having.
Like literally they would Google, how do I contact Facebook support when I can't get anybody on the phone, right? They were Googling that kind of thing because they're so frustrated. And it's kind of cool to be able to have that answer show up in the Google search results, and that people are clicking on it, and then you're getting someone to comment on a blog post is almost impossible. So when I get someone who responds back and is like, that worked, I'm like, yes,
like it feels so good when you've helped people.
And I think that's the thing. If it doesn't matter, education, obviously helping people is easy to understand. They have a problem, I have a solution, or an opportunity for maybe to help them, I'm going to do that. But what people sometimes don't understand is that entertainment is just as helpful. I can't tell you how many days, rough day, come home, sit down, and I can like dwindle into a spiral of Instagram funny reels videos for like an hour where I'm just watching fail videos or funny cat. I can watch cat videos for forever, right? And it's helpful. It helps me unwind, like not get stressed out, and so entertainment can be just as helpful as education is.
Definitely. I think that some people might think that the informative education might be harder than the entertainment.
Oh. And
I was going to say yes, because making dumb, funny, or inspirational videos or entertainment sort of content is super easy. But
for me, making educational step by step, I think it's just who you are. Like, you're so much better at making content that
resonates with people. Like, people want to see funny things. And I mean, your dad jokes, sometimes they're
people do
a
not
little
want to listen
funny,
to
but
those.
like they're it's like I'm gonna scroll right, like I don't scroll right past instead of like read. I'm like, oh my god, what did Sean put on Facebook again?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's where your talent lies, and again, kind of going back to the beginning, what you're good at and what you're passionate about, and I think if you can combine the two of those into something that is in a content format. I mean, I'll just tell you, I know for a fact that there are entire Twitter accounts focused on dad jokes. Great dad jokes. And who have tons of followers. Why? Because people love dad jokes, right? There are entire how-to, like, there's like literally like, I can't remember what the name of the site is, but it's basically just how-to guides.
Oh yeah,
how to do
I think
everything.
it's literally just called howto.com.
It might be how-to.
And it's like the how-to videos.
Howto.com.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's everything from how to chop onions without
Literally
making your hands stink,
everything.
to how to fix your brakes on your car. I mean,
how to make
everything.
a paper airplane.
Yeah. So those folks have figured out that if they can figure out where that commonality is between helping someone and having a passion for turning it into content, that it can make some. And the reason I say passion is so important is because I have a ton of people who've come to me and be like, "Man, I heard you make money blogging, and how do I do that? I want to have,
I want to go viral. I want to have all this traffic."
If someone comes and asks me how to go viral, I'm
literally like, I don't teach that. I'm sorry.
I don't think there's any recipe for it. I don't think anybody can tell you how to do it. I think sometimes it's more than just a flash in a pan and you're lucky.
Yeah.
But there's a whole podcast that we can talk about.
Oh yes, going viral. How to not go viral.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of people come and they're like, oh, I want to do this and I have a great blog idea or I have a great YouTube channel idea. And then what happens is
they're so excited up front.
they have lots of passion about it up front, but they can't carry that passion through the hard work that it does take.
Yeah.
Right. If you and I weren't passionate about creating content, this podcast, I'm not sure we would have gotten past episode 1.
I mean, hard work, like, geez, we didn't even, you can go back to our episode 1, episode 2. We'll talk about that. So go ahead and check that out because you'll want to hear about that. But touching on that, if you aren't passionate or like excited about what you're putting out there, or if you're anxious about it, like, and you think that people are gonna, troll you or like hurt you,
there are
bully
jerks
you
on the internet.
Then
newsflash.
Yeah, it will like stop you from doing something great or putting something out there that resonates with someone else.
Well, and you have to, it is important. That's a really, really important point that you have to think about is that publishing content out in the world, you are going to give up an element of privacy.
Yeah.
Right? And you are going to open yourself to feedback from others. If you don't take feedback from others very well,
I would not, honestly, I wouldn't recommend being in the digital world.
Right. The content economy is going to hurt.
Yeah. Like,
but it would be like if you don't drive well,
you'll get honked at.
Don't be an Uber driver, right? It's the same thing. If you don't, if you really want your private world to be private, well, don't be on social media, right? And I mean, the reason I say that because like I have a person who came to me and I was like, man, that is a great blog idea. That is a great blog idea, and I was like, are you ready to tell those stories? Because they're amazing stories. People would love them, and I think it took him a little while to think through it, and he's like, man, like I think I would have to put like pictures of my experiences and that for context, and I just don't think I'm ready for that. And I was like, then don't, hold that for your, biography after, have somebody write it after you die. Like, then you're and it was nothing nefarious. I mean, this is a person who literally traveled with a circus.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's amazing.
Stories that he tells are amazing. And I'm like, that would be so cool for a blog post or I don't know if you could turn it into a YouTube channel. But again, he just wasn't ready for his like personal life to be out there in the world.
So like I started Jenna Haith Lifestyle, and I pretty much like wrote about what I wanted. What I thought other people like might want to know about and learn from. And yeah, some of the articles that I've written, it's like, you like really know like my family and like my friends, and some people like would come to me and be like, why, you know, you're putting all this information out there,
personal information,
why why do you want everyone to know about it? And I'm like, well, it was a passion. It's a passion, first of all. And then second of all, I am eager to try to monetize that as well. So if I can help someone learn, so like the Facebook support thing, that's something that you were first like, no, I need to research this myself and then put it on there. And then afterwards, when you get like a lot of traffic, you're like, I might have like said some things in that article. Like I hate like all of the bad things, but you don't want to edit that article because it was what you were feeling, and that's what people are feeling as well, but they're not necessarily putting that in the world, but you are, so they don't have to. But it's the motivation first, and then you hope that other people will relate to that, and you just want to keep that up there. And so, but that's when people are like, why are you putting all your privacy and like all of that on there? It's like, people want to see real people.
That's right.
So
I had a perfect example of that. I wrote a blog post one time about Facebook was splitting Facebook Messenger into
a different app.
Yeah. And I wrote, you know, a whole article about why, like, you're so worried about your privacy with Facebook Messenger, yet you have stickers on your minivan that literally have all your kids' names on them and show their soccer practice, you know, soccer team, and show down on your little bumper, your license plate thing, what school they go to. And like, and I wasn't trying to say that privacy wasn't important. I was trying to point out that you're worried about Facebook spying on you so that it can advertise to you, but you're publishing all of your private information everywhere else. And I was being snarky. I'm just like, I have apologized in the blog post. Like, people came hard at me for that blog post. They were like, you don't understand how bad Facebook is. You don't understand how much they capture and what they use that and how they sell it. And so first of all, I've been working with Facebook for a really long time. I know exactly how nefarious Facebook can be around privacy. But I went back and I did rewrite the article. I did was I added to it.
Okay.
And I added a whole section at the very beginning that said, look,
I know people are upset about this.
I was trying to be snarky about this, and it didn't come off as snarky. It came off as me like, being a jackass, right?
Yeah.
And I get it that people are super passionate about this. And I love, because the comments, they went kooky, and like, and
that's more content.
And well, and it is, and it also, it tells you how people feel. Look, if people are coming and they're commenting, and even if they're negative, snarky comments, okay, at least they took the time to give you their feedback, as long as they're not just trolling. That's just not helpful. But but I not only did I add that piece to the blog post at the beginning, apologizing. I actually put a picture of me with a foil hat on. Like, here's my conspiracy theory foil hat on. You guys can see it. It's out there. But then I also took a lot of the comments that people said, like, you don't know, like the Facebook Messenger is just another big fat app on my phone taking up space. Facebook Messenger, you know, I feel like the things that I post on Facebook are to the world or to my private groups. And Facebook Messenger is one-on-one conversations that are significantly more private. So people have real reasons to question their privacy. And I added information about that to the blog post. They literally helped me improve the blog. Yeah. They helped me improve my content.
And I think that that's great to like, if you guys start in the content economy and start publishing things that you've created yourself, I think that like asking for feedback and, helpful advice from your friends, family, random people that have seen it is a really good way to improve your skills and improve the next video that you put out. Because really, what are you doing? You're posting the content for the viewers. You need to have your viewers like you, and you need to have your viewers or your audience or your listeners or readers want to like keep coming back to you. So you post stuff that will resonate with them. Am I right?
It's important to them. That's right. I mean, can you imagine? So we started this conversation talking about how in our professional world, we work in the digital economy and the content economy. And I have a person who works with our team, he's an illustrator. He's a designer. And can you imagine if I, sent a brief to him to say, hey, we need this new logo. And here's the idea, here's the colors, here's what I need you to do. Use your creative skills to create an amazing logo for us. And he sent it back. And then I got feedback about the first draft of it. And then I sent it back to him and he was like, oh, I'm not listening to that feedback. That's terrible feedback. You're horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you get what you get. Like, that's in the content economy, you have to be willing to take the feedback. And sometimes it's hard feedback. Sometimes, I look back at my old blog posts and I'm like, oh, these are
man.
awful. Like we're gonna look back at episode 1, 2,
for example,
3, 4, 5 in 5 years.
Yeah,
and we're
and be like, wow, what were we even doing?
What's the word you use in your generation? Shuggy?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sketch.
Oh, sketchy.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
cringy.
Cringy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you have to be able to willing to take, and hopefully it's positive criticism, but be able to improve on the product.
Yeah.
Improve on it. You got to understand that if you do get going in the content economy, everything is not going to be smooth sailing from the start. It's going to be rough. It's going to take an iterative process. The people who adapt, they listen to the feedback, they continue to evolve who they are and the services that they offer, and they are always looking to help their audience, their end audience. Those are the folks that are going to succeed.
Yeah,
that's right.
Definitely. Well, this was a lot for you guys, but we just wanted to talk about our goal for this episode and for future episodes. It's just to share our experiences from my age and generation and Sean's age and generation, and just to share our experiences with other people when it comes to how digital marketing has helped us build our career and our side hustles as well. And that's how we are living in this freelance gig economy.
I think a lot of folks out there wonder how you can, and especially when times are tough in the economy, everybody's kind of looking for another way to make a little extra bit of money.
It's like, how do you start?
Yeah, like, I mean, some folks are like, I have a car, so I can do Uber, I can Instacart, that kind of stuff. But I hope, as we were talking about this, our goal was to have people start thinking, man, I have skills as I love to draw.
Yeah.
Or I have a great radio voice. I have a terrible radio voice. But people out there who have great radio voices, boy, you can make a ton of money on Fiverr doing voiceover gigs, right? If you have experience with...
Like, if you're, for an example, like translating.
Oh, yeah, translating content.
If you guys are, dual language
or speak second language?
There's apps, or not apps, I guess, platforms that you can sign up and put in your skills, and people, like companies, will reach out to you and be like, hey, like, I saw that you're offering a $25 for a voiceover of 3-minute voiceover.
I've paid multiple people to translate some of my most popular blog posts into Spanish.
There you go.
Just for clear, concise, I have a degree in Spanish. My undergraduate degree is in Spanish, but I'm not going to do that. I want a native speaker to translate my content into Spanish, and I was happy to pay them to do it. And guess what? generates traffic.
Yeah.
Right. So there are lots of skills out there that people can use in this content economy. You don't have to be a great TikTok dancer.
No, like any skill, you guys, like people are like, I don't have any skills or I don't have any special talents. Like everyone has something, whether you're, guess what? You can be a friend. There's a site that you can like log on and be a friend to someone. And there you go. Like if you're a good listener, sign up for that.
That's right. If you like fixing cars or motorcycles, or you love cooking or baking, if you are great at cleaning the house and organizing,
there you go.
If you can find something that you are passionate about, you can turn it into content. There's opportunities for you to do it. Yeah.
I think one of the longest gig jobs would be babysitting.
Absolutely. Or
nanny.
How about dog sitting?
Dog sit, house sit.
Yeah.
Like extra cash, extra money. Why not? Yeah. So
lots of stuff out there. So what we're hoping for, we would love to hear maybe how you have turned your skill into some sort of content, or reach out and ask like, hey, I was thinking about creating a whole YouTube channel on closet organizing. What do you think?
we would love
to provide feedback.
Yeah. We might, feature the questions on here because we'd love to talk about it and help you guys learn and improve your skills.
Yeah. So that's it for episode 3.
Oh, man, we're wrapping it up.
It was a good conversation.
Yeah.
I hope that people maybe if one thing happened in this conversation, somebody was like, man, I have a passion for making furniture. I'm going to think about doing this. Maybe you don't do it, but maybe at least think about it.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to have inspired one person to think about maybe joining the content economy with their skill sets.
Yeah, it's great. Take it from us too that are in it.
Cool. So,
alrighty, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and we're excited. We're moving and grooving on these episodes. So
if you haven't gone back, watch episode 1, 2, and 3. You will see the progress of our content.
Yeah, and we're really excited. All right,
cool.
We're logging off.
Thanks,
bye, guys.
Everybody.